any acer, which is what a maple is, will make maple syrup. Sugar maples tend to be more sweet than, as far as the sap, than other maple trees. But maple syrup begins in the woods. You find you a good sugar maple, they have to be 10 inches diameter at 4.5 feet off the ground to get one tap. 15-inch diameter gets 2 taps, and one 20 inches or bigger gets 3. And this one gets 3. You drill a 5/16 inch hole about 1.5 inches deep. And then you put I've already pulled the taps because the season's over. Let's see, where was this one at? I believe it was up here. And you put the tap in and you just tap it in with a hammer until the hammer just bounces back. It's something you do gently, because if you drive it in too hard, it will split the tree. And you can see some of the old tap holes. If you get up close, the sap has a natural bacteria in it. That's what caramelizes, gives it the golden color. And as the season progresses, you get more of the bacteria in the sap, and that's what closes a hole when a woodpecker or some nut like me drills a hole in the tree. The taps have to be changed at least every year, and I will be changing the drop lines this time, and these are 3 years old. But you always get little bits of wood, and you can't really wash the tubing out. I've got over a mile of tubing in 3.5 acres of woods, and it goes everywhere the trees go. And there's no place on this property that you can stand and see all of the tubing because of the way the land lays. And it's pretty rugged. I'm too lazy to haul buckets of sap, so I pull a vacuum. It's 26 inches of vacuum, and that pulls gases out of the tree. It gives you more sap. It takes 40 gallons of sap to make a gallon of syrup. And it's all on gravity down to it's a pump house now. It's where I started out making syrup. Started out with a 2-foot by 4-foot flat pan that had dividers in it. I would drip it in out of a 65-gallon head tank and just try to keep the level an inch deep. And I kind of outgrew that once I tapped more trees. So I drove up to New York and bought a 40-inch wide, 12-foot long evaporator. Stuck that dude on some 6x6 posts, strapped it down, and slid it down this hill and put it in that building. Of course, I had to build the building bigger, but it's built on concrete pilings, and I'm going to get that reskinned starting next week. It's going to match the sugar shack. It'll have a different roof line too. It had to be that high because I had 21-foot smokestack. And there was something a little dangerous about having an 1,800-degree fire in a wooden building in the middle of my woods anyway. So I had to make some changes. So once the sap reaches, I have a 400-gallon stainless steel tank in there, and the deck's all rotted, and like I say, there's no trails. This is as far as we let anybody come down. And that's going to change eventually, but for now, it's the best I can do as far as what you get to see. And then once I get that tank full, or I need sap up top, then I switch some valves around, put the vacuum at the bottom of the tank, open it up, turn on a transfer pump, and I suck it all up the hill to a 280-gallon head tank in the sugar shack, because I'm too lazy to haul buckets of sap.